Hi, how are you today? I want to talk with you about a number of ways English can help your career. With English becoming a truly global language, it's certainly a useful skill to possess in the working world. It's not wonder that research has shown that about two-thirds of learners in global markets such as Asia, Europe, and South America are learning English in order to apply for jobs in their native country or to work overseas. But you might be surprised to learn that there are other ways English helps your career. Continue with me to find out how having a good grasp of the language can improve the way you deal with tasks, help you make better decisions, and possibly even boost your earning power. First, not speaking a second language may actually hold employees back. Not only is having a second language advantageous to individuals as the business they work for, speaking only one language may become an impediment to careers in the future. There is a glass ceiling developing for monoglots within global businesses beyond a certain point, unless they've had overseas experience and have cultural awareness and probably a language. They are not going to get into the more rarefied atmosphere, says Richard Hall, chair at UBS. Second, English skills improve employee agility. Aside from the obvious communication benefits of improving English, Andrew Hill, associate of management editor at the Financial Times, suggests that there is scientific research indicating that multilinguals are more agile, that they have more capability of dealing with multiple tasks. Third, multilinguals are better decision makers. If you think that having a native familiarity with a language makes you feel more comfortable with using to make decisions, you could be wrong. Multilinguals are better at making rational decisions in the second language, says Antonio Suarez, professor of development linguistics at Edinburgh University. When the problem is framed in the second language, there is more emotional distance between the speaker and the problem, and that allows a decision that is more rational in the sense that is less colored by emotional factors. Four, multilinguals have soft power. Soft power certainly doesn't mean a softening of abilities. Quite the opposite, in fact. A concept developed by Joseph Nye of Harvard University is defined as a persuasive approach to international relations, typically involving the use of economic or cultural influence, rather than coercion or payment. Traditionally associated with international diplomacy, soft power can be useful in roles requiring mediation, networking, and the building of client relationships. Third point to be noted, English skills could mean better negotiation skills. These soft power abilities that multilinguals have means they're better at negotiating partly because they can see the other person's perspective. Repeat this. English skills could mean better negotiation skills. These soft power abilities that multilinguals have means they are better at negotiating partly because they can see the other person's perspective. They can anticipate the other person's point of view and respond. This would be particularly useful in roles that require negotiation around contracts. English could you help earn more? According to recent studies, employees feel that improved English would allow them to earn around 5,000 US dollars more per year. And while that would mean greater expenditure for businesses, for the reasons I mentioned before, and more, this could also mean a more efficient, not to mention galvanized workforce, providing more long term financial benefits. Now, how can we improve communication skills? I have a number of tips that I can give you here. The first, listen, listen, listen. At first, you need to listen before you speak, because by listening, you are going to know the exact way words pronounced, the intonation, and such. Second, who you're talking to matters. It's not the same talking with a friend, a coworker, or your boss. You need to be able to communicate in different levels so you have a complete understanding of the language. Three, body language matters. If you're feeling nervous, your discourse is going to be stiff. You have to relax. You have to feel confident when you talk in English or even in your native language. This is something that applies constantly. You have to be sure of what you are saying to project your message. Another point, check your message before you hit send. If you're writing an email, even a text, you should be aware of what are you saying and how you are communicating your ideas. Double check what you have written and correct things if necessary. Five, you have to be brief but yet specific. Don't try to overconvince yourself or your coworkers, your friends, your boss that you are so proficient in English that you need to write a long, long text. Go to the point. Six, write things down. If you take notes of the things you are going to talk about, it's going to be easier. It's like a way to remember what you are going to speak about. Keep everything close in case you forget something. Now, sometimes it's better to pick up the phone. If you're writing and you feel not confident, maybe you can express yourself better in normal way, speaking. And last but not least, think before you speak. This is an ability that it's not that easy to achieve, but as an English teacher, I can tell you that it's a process where you have to start thinking in the new language you're talking. Sometimes at first it's very common to think in Spanish and translate to English. This is a very, very long process that is going to cost you time. Okay? So with practice, you will be able to think directly in English. And that's what you have to aim for.